Founders will often spend 6 months building a product, refining a financial model, and polishing a pitch deck. But when they finally sit across from an investor, they are entering a very narrow window of attention, often less than a minute, before a subconscious decision to pass is made. This is the quiet checkout. The investor won't stop to argue or point out where your logic failed. They simply mentally disengage, nod politely through the remaining slides, and send a generic pass tomorrow. This rejection is particularly damaging because it burns social capital. Presenting a case with broken logic forces your referrer to spend their own credibility on a deal that was never ready for the room. While it's easy to blame a small market or a lack of traction, this silent killer is almost always triggered by a specific, overlooked moment in the presentation, the solution slide. It isn't usually a failure of the product itself. It is a mechanical sequencing error, a flaw in how the information is delivered. Most founders answer the investor's third question, what the product is, before establishing the first, why the problem is massive. When you jump ahead, the narrative thread snaps. The investor loses the connection between pain and cure and stops following your logic. When this logic breaks, the investor's brain tends to reclassify the startup from a necessity to a nice-to-have. By the time you get to your core value proposition, they are already looking for the exit. To understand how to fix this, we need to perform an autopsy on a standard flawed solution slide. A typical slide is cluttered with dense text, industry jargon, and bullet points focused on criticizing competitors. The problem is that the founder dives into the technical flaws of other solutions, but misses the connection between their own product and a proven, quantified pain point. Analyzing the flaws of a bandage before proving that a massive wound exists removes the sense of urgency. Without a proven pain, there is no reason for the investor to care about your solution. This design fails because it ignores how the brain actually processes information. It creates what researchers call cognitive overload. When you force an investor to read dense text while simultaneously listening to you speak, you create immediate cognitive friction. The brain's visual and auditory channels begin to compete for resources. Human beings cannot process two dense streams of information at once. When forced to choose, our ability to understand both the slides and the speaker drops significantly. The result is an audience that is half reading, half listening, and completely confused. When this confusion sets in, investors feel overwhelmed. They stop looking for opportunities and start looking for flaws as an excuse to mentally check out. Fixing the solution slide requires a complete rebuild using a sequence designed for clarity rather than density. This starts with the assertion evidence framework. Instead of a generic title like Our Solution, the slide features a single headline that states exactly what your product achieves. You follow the rule of one idea per slide. The visual evidence should directly answer the problem you previously established. By showing value and scalability visually, you minimize text. Your voice now drives the narrative and provides context. A properly sequenced, highly visual solution slide reduces cognitive friction, allowing the investor to stay focused on the scale of the opportunity you are presenting. When you fix the sequence, the power dynamic in the room changes. The investor is no longer looking for flaws because the narrative logic holds up. An unbroken chain of logic makes the final funding ask a natural extension of the evidence you've already presented. You can verify your own deck tonight using a simple tool called the 60-second flip test. Have a stranger flip through your deck in under a minute. If they can't understand your entire business logic based solely on the headlines, your sequence is broken. If a stranger is confused, your pitch is likely to trigger that same subconscious rejection from an investor. Fixing these sequencing errors manually is a trial and error process that takes time most founders don't have. That is why we built a structural shortcut, the $497 VC-ready pitch deck kit, which you can find linked in the description below. The kit includes a 16-slide deck in Canva with tech-forward and clinical themes, plus a 16-page VC instruction guide modeled on real investor psychology. Using a structural blueprint can help you avoid the common sequencing errors that lead to a silent pass, separating your deck from the ones that are destined for the archive.